Hello everybody and welcome back to the Valley of the Old Farm. So today what we're going to be doing is trying to improve the productivity of the cows. The health is currently at 18%, which, let's face it, is abysmal. It really is. It couldn't really be much worse. Well, it could be 18% worse actually, but it's bad. I need to improve it. What we need to do is basically give them power food, give them silage when we can do, and give them bedding. When these three things are done, providing we're maintaining the grass and the water, they should be really good for health. In fact, the health seems to be now 21%, which is slightly better than it was a second ago. As for the sheep, they're pretty good, 80%. To be honest, I'm not quite sure how to boost it the extra 20%, since they do have everything. I suppose just filling everything up to the top would do it. I'm not entirely sure. Unless it can't go over 80%. I'm not totally familiar with the season setup when it comes to the animals, despite doing it for a while, but you know what I'm like. Anyway, yes, we're going to try and boost what they have. So bedding and power food in the next few days will do. Bedding we can do today. So this means bringing over some straw. Obviously we don't have any straw, we're going to have to buy it in. You may think, oh, that's ridiculous. It's really expensive. What's the point in buying it in? Well, as I said, we're actually losing quite a bit of money by having a poor health rating on those cows. In fact, the previous day only generated £1,900 of milk, which obviously it sounds like quite a bit, but for Farming Simulator, that's not very good at all. I was actually going to drop this trailer off the Ford, and we'll put it on the Fendt. Yeah, because you can actually produce a lot of money from milk. I've been making thousands in the past, so it could just be the time of year, or it could just simply be that they've been neglected. I'm going to go for the second one there. I think they have been neglected. So we can improve this, and we're going to improve it. It is my mission for today. Although, as I've said, we can't do a great deal at this stage. We need to wait for the silage to fully ferment. But yeah, taking in some extra straw, or taking in some straw, as we have none, is certainly step number one. Unless those bales over there are usable, they don't look like they are. But I guess the potential is there for them to be used. Right, that should be close enough. We're also going to actually buy another bale spike. We do have one. I'm fully aware of having one already. But what I'm going to do is actually give that to the Massey Ferguson 240. Mainly so there's always one handy. Yeah, so I want to go for a CSZ Pack bale spike. I can usually reverse out of here fairly easily, but not today for some reason. What's going on with my reversing skills? They smell. Right, come on. I'm usually pretty good at reversing, I have to admit. Well, if you've seen my time lapses actually, you'll have already seen how I reverse out of here. And I can usually do it in one go, but this is really bad. Absolutely terrible. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, I've been bitten on my back. That's... Sorry. I really should have jump cut there. An ant on my back. I have been outside. That's a fairly unusual thing to hear in a video. I guess it's a good way of distracting you from my my terrible reversing. Ah, yeah, that really hurt. That is weird. I don't usually get bitten by ants either. It's a day of unusual things. Do they bite? Do ants bite? What do they do? Is it some kind of acid they put on your skin? I don't know. But yeah, unpleasant to say the least. Right, let's go to the store. I'm going to be itching for the rest of this video now. Thanks to the ant. But yeah, if we can just buy this bale spike and also the bales. The bales will actually be much more expensive than the spike itself, as we're basically paying for somebody else's work. It's their hard work, they've produced these bales, they're selling them for a profit, and we've got to pay for it. Which is fair enough, but yeah, it's something which we're trying to avoid. So in the future, when we've made our own bales, we won't have to do this anymore. But it is a very good lifeline. So this trailer is actually quite long. Manoeuvring it around here isn't the easiest of tasks to do, but it's certainly possible. Let's see if my stacking can improve today. And as many people have already told me, never start stacking from the back, so today we'll start from the front. What we'll probably do actually is put a few at the front and then work our way back, and then if we have enough we'll put some more on a second layer over at the front. But yeah, it didn't go down terribly well when I stacked one of my previous loads from the back first. I suppose that's the thing. Maybe if I was doing it more central it'd be alright because it's still over the wheels, over the axle. But if I was right at the back, which I was, then the overhang is likely going to tip the trailer up into the air. Right, so placeables. Go over to the fabulous mod, which is the Buyable Bales. Hang on, wait, sorry, wrong one. They're not placeable, they are pallets. Here they are. So yeah, we can go for the square ones or we can go for the round ones. Which is better? Well, they're exactly the same by the look of it. 8 by 4,000 litres. The difference is the price. Well, I'm going to go for the straw bales, which are a square, because it just seems to be the most obvious choice, really. So yeah, we'll go for that. Let me just double check, make sure there's absolutely no difference at all. Nope, no difference, so yeah, we'll go for these. No point wasting £200. We'll now buy the front loader spike, and yeah, I need to choose the right one here. So we're going to go for, I would have thought, this one here, the extra elevation, which seems to be a good one. The fork with extra elevation allows transporting normal and round bales with any type of agricultural vehicle. It is suitable for use only in a farm. In particular, allows you to place the bales of heights unreachable with normal forks. Sorry, messed up there. So, yeah, front loader. We'll buy that. I'm desperate to use it. And we'll begin loading. I wonder how many we can actually pick up. We're probably, I was going to say, we're probably going to have to put a weight on. I suppose we could put a weight on, but we'll have to take it back on the front of the tractor. Because we'll be towing the trailer. Unless I pick up the weight somehow and put it on the trailer, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So if I just get a weight, we probably do already have some. It probably should be something pretty big actually. It's a fairly chunky tractor this. We'll go for the 2.3 ton. I think it's 2.3. We'll put it on the back for now, and hopefully we can load at least 3 in one go, hopefully, but again, this might be a bit of an issue due to the balancing of the trailer. So what do we do to hire that? Ah, there we go. Yeah, so basically, yeah, if we were making a really big stack and we couldn't quite reach, then we could go up even further with that. Love the idea. We're probably not going to need it today, but the extra sort of backing piece, the taller backing piece, should allow us to pick up more bales anyway. So yeah, it's just a very nice thing to have. I've actually parked the trailer in a terrible position. Actually, thinking about it, we might be able to put the trailer on the weights. It is possible with some of these weights, so I'll definitely give it a go. It looks like a different fitting. I think it is. I would say it is. Yep. Because this is like the pin type in there, and that's more like a ball type. So it looks like this one isn't actually compatible with the trailer, which is a shame. But you can't really do something which doesn't exist. You can't really, you know, modify something on the spot. Right, we're ready. We are ready to start loading. I'm going to do layers of 2. I think you'll pick up 3 or maybe even 4 without any issues at all. Oh, okay, I've just picked up 4 accidentally, but with no issues at all. In fact, is that actually possible? I know it's absolutely ridiculous, but if I can actually load, sorry, I'm saying actually quite a bit there, but if it is possible to load all of those in one go, then that is going to save a lot of time. Let's just see. It's unusual. It looks like we're going to be able to. Look at that. How bizarre. I suppose, yeah, the spikes are just about long enough to be able to pick up all 4 together. I would say that in real life that would never work, because it just wouldn't be through the other side properly, it wouldn't be through to the other bales properly. But it certainly saves us time here. Wow. I wasn't expecting that at all. Just for that, I absolutely love the pack. The CSZ pack. Few people actually said that I've been mentioning it quite a bit recently, the CSZ pack. And I keep saying I'm going to use it, but then never do. But I haven't mentioned it that much, really. I've always been aware of it, and I have mentioned it before, so I admit that. But yeah, it's just the sort of mod where I've kind of overlooked it, and I shouldn't have done, because it's such an important mod. Such an amazing mod. Because as you'll probably know, I do complain quite a bit about the in-game log fork for the front loader. And then this is the solution to it. It's the only attachment which I'm not that keen on. Otherwise, I love absolutely everything else. I suppose it's not that bad. If you get the hang of it. I mean, Olis9 actually said that he really likes it. So it's probably just me, so I'm going to shut up. Very important. Right. Let's attempt to put this weight on the trailer. I don't think we're going to be able to, but it would be a good way of taking it back. The only alternative, like I say, is to put it on the front, which actually is probably the more sensible option. Right, that's enough playing. Let's try and pick it up. Do you think it'll work? No, I would say not. Looking at that, I think we'll do the sensible thing and stick it on the front of the tractor. There we go. Wasn't that easy. So let's take these back over to the farm. The cows will finally be able to have their bedding. We're going to have to buy a feed mixer at some point, unless we have one, but I'm pretty sure we don't have one. No, we don't. I might actually not use the in-game one, because it's probably going to be nicer to use a mod. Probably the one by CD Models, actually, because that is a very nice one. But off we go. I'll try not to spike anybody on the way back. In fact, as we have the weight on the front, so it's keeping the centre of gravity down, we can actually pick the front loader up and yeah, really tilt that down. So that's much better, much safer. I really do like this tractor a lot. It's perfect, really, because it can do everything we need it to. It's like it was designed for the map. Any job that we throw at it, it can do, basically. So it's just a tractor which is so valuable to us. Anyway, here we are. We're going to have to unload these bales. We're going to put them in the straw loft. It just is the obvious place to put them. Although, should we take a few off first? Probably not. I might just go and put the whole lot in there first of all. And while I'm doing this, I need to think of the next job to do, because we can do fertilising, I suppose, although not necessarily, because the crops won't have definitely progressed at all. They might have still been on the same growth stage as before. Yeah, there'll be no fertilising today. I'd prefer to do something different anyway, because to be fair, I'm a bit bored of fertilising. It's something that needs to be done, but we've been doing it for pretty much every episode so far. Right, I need to leave plenty of space to manoeuvre around this, so somehow I need to tuck right up against the wall and ideally not crash into it. Okay, there we go. What it would do, make sure we can get out of here. Yeah, we should be able to load all that up, or unload all that. We're going to load and unload. So we'll take these straps off, and I think we should keep... Oh, okay, that's unusual. Never done that before. Never picked up a pressure washer while trying to unstrap a trailer. It must be below us, I assume. I think I'm probably in the trigger for it. Oh, that's so typical. Okay. That's, yes, there it is. That could have gone better. So to make life easier here, I'm going to use the skid steer loader. We're going to be able to manoeuvre much easier and much better in here. And as the tractor is now reconnected to the trailer, we're going to just do the quick unstrap, which I shouldn't really do, but I can't really see a solution to it unless I move the trailer to a different place, which I don't really want to do. Now, I did have a question in the previous episode, and that was, can you unload 2 bales at a time with the JCB? And the answer to that is I have no idea, so let's try and find out. Looking at it, the answer is yes. So yes, we can. Let's stack these over here. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it does have to be fairly neat. As I've done with the hay bales, basically. They're pretty neat. I mean, we don't have that many anyway, and chances are we're going to be taking at least 2 out of here fairly soon. Certainly 1, but they might take 2. Yeah, we definitely can't pick up 4 with the skid steer. We can't go straight through to pick up the other side as well. But to be honest, I don't think we'd want to, because it would be just so difficult to get into the tight corner. With this, we're very manoeuvrable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is continue, and when we're very close to the end, I will resume the video, and we'll take those bales over to the cows. And here we go, so we've got the final bale here. I've just turned the beacons off and the engine off on the Fendt. I didn't really want to leave them going, that was not really a good idea. And yeah, as I've never done this before, I'm going to have to just guess where it goes. I can check the tutorial again, but as I've said before, I don't want to always rely on it. It is the sort of thing which I'm going to use if I'm seriously stuck. Aha! Good. Simple stuff. How much did it take? It did. It was exactly a bale, and that has filled it to the top. So that is going to improve the health, hopefully. It will certainly improve their cleanliness, because, I mean, what's better than something to absorb all of that slop? A bit of dry straw. I don't think there's anything else they need today. Obviously we can't do the power food, as I've said. To do the power food we have to get the silage. We've got the hay, we've got the straw. The silage is here, but, well, unless it is, I don't know. It might be ready. I'll have to take a look. If it is ready, it'd be amazing, because then we really can boost that health. We want to get that health up to something really high, like 70% at least. 55%, so it's going to be at least another day. It's already been a day and a half. So that's a shame, but it's coming. One day, they're going to be very happy cows. Right, so I think that is actually going to conclude the animal work for today. There is just nothing else I can do, as far as I'm aware. Nope. It all involves silage. So we can do pretty much anything. We're free. We're free to do anything we want to. Only problem is I can't decide. Now usually I'd go and do a bit of forestry, but we've already done quite a bit of forestry in this series, so I don't really want to. Let's just leave that there. Yeah, so what can we do? Well, actually, one thing which did cross my mind was something which I haven't done for an incredibly long time. The reason behind it really is because of how slow it is, but it is poplars. Now, I would say poplars are they're a bit like Marmite, really. You either love them or you hate them. Although, actually, this is going to backfire on me, what I've just said. I think they're okay. So I don't love them and I don't hate them. Crikey, that was a terrible thing to say. Anyway, yeah, if we just take a look in the palette section, we should be able to see them. Let's just see. Yep. Pallet sapling, poplar sapling. These ones here. Obviously, we can't do sugarcane. It's just the wrong location for it. But yeah, we could do poplar. The thing which always puts me off with the poplar is the amount of equipment which is required to harvest it, unless there is like a trailed harvester. But as far as I'm aware, we always have to use one of these, which is in itself very expensive. £25,000 before you even have the harvester, and it will fit the New Holland, which is £374,000, and you don't really get much for wood chips anyway, so it's a bit of a tough one. Okay, so one thing which we definitely can do if we don't do poplars is actually mowing grass. Now, we do mow grass quite a bit, but it is something which is necessary in the semi-realistic series. There's not really two ways about it. We have to do it. Well, I suppose we don't have to do it, but if we don't do it, then there'll be no feed. So it's very important that it's done. Now, what I could do is I could get a much more interesting mod, I suppose, instead of just the base game mowers, but I just worry that if I get something like the Krone Big M, I worry that I'll be criticised for going over the top. Let's see if I can justify it. Maybe if I can buy some more grassland, so we have loads of grassland, then it will seem a lot more worthwhile. Field 86 is staring me in the face as being a massive field. So, if we own that, I think that in itself is enough to say, yeah, we have to have a much bigger mower, bigger than what we can stick on the tractors. The other one is Field 89 and Field 8. They look absolutely amazing. Or maybe we could just go for those two instead of Field 86. The possibility is there for us to go over here, and it would also allow us to go further afield. So we're going to have a drive over there. We'll take the Unimog. We'll have a nice leisurely drive on this summer morning. I'll put the tractor over here first. We'll park it up. And if I go over to it and I think, yeah, the price is good and it's a really big field, so we're going to have something bigger, then I think we'll get the Krone Big M. Because then we can get a lot done. To be honest, I haven't used the Krone Big M for a very long time, so there may well be an update for it. If there is, I'll obviously download it. If there isn't, then we're going to have to just stick with the one we've got. The one we have actually has a few issues, so I would have thought by now, as it's been so long, there will actually be one which is fully working. And if there is, it's going to be really good. What I would do is, I think I'll do a few fields on the option, on the setting where you can actually row it up, it puts it as a swath, and I'll do some fields where it doesn't even spread. So for drying out for hay, for example. Right, from here we need to go somewhere. Yeah, we'll just take the normal route, I think. The way we know. Always the safest thing to do. Here is field number 89, the biggest of the two. £300,000. Well, that's a bit more than I'd usually pay. I don't know what to do for the best now, because that Krone Big M is not going to be cheap. Just struggling to find different things for us to do today. It's just one of those days. I suppose what we could do is check out the price for Field 8 and then see if we can buy another smaller field, but then that's going against my wishes of having a Krone Big M. Maybe it's just a dream. Maybe we'll never have the Krone Big M. It would be very nice, but I can't really justify it at this stage. If only we had £1 million. See, even that is 132,000. Although actually, if you look at it, it's still a massive field. It goes a long way down there. It's still easily cut with just a tractor though. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one for me, this. I suppose what we could do is check out the price of a Krone Big M, and if it isn't too expensive, then we could use our money on the fields. Right, so I've got a starting price here of 18,000, which does seem crazily cheap. I don't know if that's something I've done in the past. But yeah, it is the updated version of the Big M, so hopefully it's all going to work well. So, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. Yeah, you see, just that adds 55,000, so I don't know. But let's just go for it anyway, let's run the risk, and yeah, we'll see. You can choose a main colour. So we could have basically any colour at all. Well, it certainly does leave enough money left over. Ugh. Maybe it doesn't suit yellow. I think we'll go for the classic. It's suited very well. I can see why it is the standard colour. So, yes, I've gone and bought it, as you can see. But I'm hoping that everything's going to work well. I'm assuming on this version we can actually choose between the swath mode and also the even spread, if that's what it's called. I doubt it actually, I doubt it's called that, but yeah, I don't know. You certainly could do in the 15 version, but as for the 17 version, I'm not too sure. So I think, yeah, we're going to buy a field. We're going to buy the big field, and we'll use it, we'll cut the field. We'll then have a deciding session, basically the comments on this video, and if there is like an overwhelming response of negativity surrounding this choice, we'll just go back, we'll just sell it, we'll keep the field, but we'll just sell the big M and we'll just stick with the tractors mowers. We're going to keep the tractors mowers for today, so that if it all does go pear-shaped, I can just very easily revert back. So hopefully most people will be in favour of this. I know it is a bit of a funny decision, but I'm just looking to use something a bit bigger. I just sometimes get in the mood of using a bigger machine. Thinking about it, should we go for field 8 or field 89? I don't know. I think actually if we do go for the biggest field, which is that one just there, we might run out of money. So maybe this field here. It's still plenty big enough, it's still a massive field. Right, coming through. Beep. Right, we'll just let that car go, and we will we'll begin. Get it unfolded. It is going to make fairly short work of this. For this particular field, if it cuts it in swath, that would be actually better, because what we need is grass for the sheep and the cows. So we just want to basically either produce grass bales or just pick it up with the loading wagon. So, oh, my Unimog is in the way. So I'm going to try and jump that. Okay, let's bring it into the field with us. That way, it's not going to be blocking the road. That's a really good cut. Tasty grass for the cows and for the sheep. I'll try to get as close to the edge as possible so we're not wasting anything. After all, we've paid all this money for the land, we have to make the most of it, because if we don't make the most of it, we might as well have just bought the bales in the first place. A boring option, but yeah, I'm sure you can see what I'm saying there. Right, it seems to be going pretty well. Yeah, I don't think you can actually choose between swath and spread with the FS17 version. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, please do let me know, because I'd love to have the updated version, but I've taken a look and I can't see anything beyond the January 2017 version. This thing was first put into Farming Simulator in FS13, so it's fairly old now. You do get a rear view camera though, which is nice. The only problem is I can't see where I'm going. Even if it is a bit too big, you've got to admit, it's a nice machine to use. If you haven't used it before, I do recommend it. It's, yeah, a very nice thing to operate. But I'm going to now sit back, wait for the comments to come rolling in, hopefully positive, possibly negative, and in the next episode we'll obviously decide what we're going to do. I think even if most people are in favour of getting rid of it, we'll still cut some more fields before we do, make the most of it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.